mammoth vertebrae here. Now, I had a little girl. She was about like this right here. She's fascinated by this thing because she's turned all kinds of different directions. Well, then she puts it down on the table like that.
This is another one.
Oh, it's a foot. No, it kind of looks like a foot, but no. Well, then she's looking at it again.
Welcome, that's the Sarah family. This is Melissa, Tara's mom, and today you are coming with us to a trip to the Flagler Beach Museum. Basically, they portray a whole variety of exhibits that, of course, have to do with the local and nature history of Flagler Beach. And you're probably even wondering how come we were even allowed to hold those and water even those. So just stay tuned and you will learn a lot about that. You will also learn how old they are. I couldn't even believe it. You're going to be able to find these and many other videos in my playlist called Museums and History. You're going to be able to find a variety of videos related to history, exhibits, and other museums as well. So go ahead and check it out. I will also put the link to it in my description. I'm also making a short about this, so you will find the link to that underneath as soon as I publish it. So by this time, you might be able to find it there too. Also, don't forget to check out the community tab because we have there behind the scenes pictures, and there is one from here too. So go ahead and check it out. Remember, if you want to reach out to us, go to the About section. If you're using the app on a phone, scroll all the way down. After you go through the description, there's like a tiny little rectangle on the bottom right hand side. You're going to find the About section. You're going to find our information there. Or if you're using a desktop, just go to the About tab, click on it, and you will find our information there. So without further ado, here is the host to the Flagler Beach Museum. Happy holidays. Bye.
That's the Mastodon. This is the woolly mammoth. They're both plant eaters. And so the Mastodon is only going to eat leaves off of trees, and the woolly mammoth is only going to eat grass. Now, we've got a Mastodon tooth here that doesn't have the roots. We've got another one over there that has part of the roots, but I had to find out what in the world did all the roots look like, because we've got this Mastodon jawbone here, and we've got all those holes in there. Well, the first time I looked at it, of course, I was looking at it like this. It was down on the table. I'm thinking, well, it's a piece of coral, but that's a funny looking coral. I've never seen anything shaped like that. No, it wasn't a piece of coral. So I did some research and couldn't find anything. So the best thing I knew to do was Google it. I did that and found this picture right here, and this matches this tooth as far as the amount of cones here. Now the cones were used to snatch off the limb off a tree to where it could eat the leaves. So this portion right here matches this big old gnarly looking thing right there. Let me get this out of the way. So that was this portion here, and then the rest of the roots would have looked like that right there. So that's what made the holes in all this. Now this does not go to this jawbone, but this gives you an idea how it would have fit in there. One other thing, this guy never brushed his teeth. Well, that's tooth decay right there. One thing I learned when I was this tall, it's always ladies first. Gentlemen, you always got to remember that.
Thank you, sir.
And then we're going to start the jawbone on this side, so we can just do this kind of thing right here.
With it.
I'm sorry. All right. And then this is a woolly mammoth baby tooth. Why I say it's baby, because we've got two bigger teeth right over there that are much, much bigger than this right here. Now it's flat because it's going to eat the grass, just like a cow. Mammoth
Oh,
vertebrae here. Now, I had a little girl, she was about like this right here. She's fascinated by this thing because she's turned all kinds of different directions. Well, then she puts it down on the table like that.
This is another.
Oh, it's a foot. No, kind of looks like a foot, but no. Well, then she's looking at it again.
What is it? A jawbone?
That's a vertebrae from the woolly mammoth. Now, what you're holding here and what we have over there, except for the whale vertebrae, were all found just north of the Hammock Dunes Bridge, which is roughly about 12 miles. It was not found on the beach behind me, but it was found on the beach 2.5 miles that way. No, I've not lost my mind. I see you looking at me like this guy's crazy out of his head. As you're coming over from I-95 on 100, you'll notice just before you get to that pedestrian bridge, which is roughly about 1/4 mile from I-95, you'll notice you'll go over a little ridge like that. And then the road slopes down and then levels out. Well, that ridge is a coquina ridge, which is this coquina shell right here. That's where the beach used to be millions of years ago. Now, on both sides of 100 are coquina pits where they dug out the rock and shell. And on the north side, the president of our museum here, he and his family are the ones who found all these other ones here. Well, he's the one that found the whale vertebrae alongside one of the coquina pits. Again, 2.5 miles that way, whale. That was taken over to the Museum of Natural History as well, and they dated that, you ready for this? To be anywhere between 3 and 5 million years old. That puts me in the same category because my kids tell me I'm older than dirt.
That was the whale bone you said?
That was whale vertebrae, yes ma'am. It's right there at the very end, down the bottom there.
Wow.
Most museums will tell you, don't touch this, don't touch that, don't touch those over there. We want you to touch these. Why? Just because of what we just went through here. This is a fantastic learning experience. It was for me when I first came here because, you know, I didn't know we had these here in Florida. I found out real quick. You know, I knew about the megalodons because I used to find megalodon teeth over in Englewood on the Gulf Coast. About like that. So I thank y'all very, very much for coming today, and I hope, you know, this opened your eyes about stuff that was here in Florida. Here in the state of Florida, how tall do you think the tallest skeleton of a giant ground sloth has been found? How tall do you think the skeleton is? So down at the Museum of Arts and Sciences in Daytona Beach, right off of Nova Road, they've got a skeleton there of a giant ground sloth. They actually found 6 down in South Daytona. None of them were complete, but they took bones from all 6 of those and they put one together there at the museum. And it's 13 feet tall. It's pretty cool looking. Pretty cool.